This video is about a potential gravitational field's vibration phase function as my alternative to Einstein's claim of relativistic time dilation. Based on my analysis, Einstein's concept of time dilation can be seen just as a metaphysical misinterpretation of physical phenomena observed as time and length contraction, predicted or laid down by Lorentz math, such as Lorentz transforms. Many non-relativist scientists would agree with this assessment. Humanity had invented the concept of time thousands of years ago to measure observed changes of any kind. Ancient Greek philosopher Plato had already characterized time as a philosophical or a metaphysical dimension, not a physical one. As a matter of fact, time is meaningless if there are no changes. In other words, no changes mean no time. As Aristotle has said, time does not exist without change. As a tool to measure changes, the time dimension is no other than a mathematical dimension, therefore can be multiplied by zillions if needed. Everything vibrates. Even Einstein himself verbally admitted it while claiming that time dimension exists, and so does the time dilation. It is a fact that every object with mass must generate a gravitational field from its center of mass. Therefore, gravitational fields must vibrate cyclically and eternally too. My additional theorized feature on the gravitational field is the phase cycles. In other words, when the gravitational field vibrates, everything in it must be frozen during this cycle. Hence, an intrinsic gravitational field's vibration phase function. The gravitational energy potential that is needed to activate the gravitational field's vibration phase function must come from the mass of the generating object via the well-known equation 2gm over c squared. Likewise, the said gravitational energy potential must gradually decrease from the center of mass outwards. Hence, the location-adjusted gravitational energy potential at a distance r from the center of mass must be 2gm over c squared over r. The Haveri-Keating experiment reveals that atomic clocks via atomic oscillations yield different time readings depending on the rotation direction of the Earth around its axis. Obviously, atomic oscillations are affected by the moving direction of the gravitational field, along or against it. The gravitational field is the only thing that can directly know its moving direction. No external things like the time dimension can do it. One cannot assume that Einstein's time dilation somehow can magically see the moving direction of the gravitational field. With all due respect to Einstein, time dilation cannot be the only possible explanation for the well-known increased lifespan of muons while traversing in space. All other things being equal, muons traversing space then reaching the Earth's surface must be impacted by the gravitational fields, therefore by its vibration phase function. By the same token, muons must be frozen cyclically along their trajectory through the gravitational field, hence conserve more their lifespan the same way cryogenics does. No time dilation is needed. And finally, based on my potential findings, the gravitational field's vibration phase function is not a standalone cosmic feature, but rather part of a Lagrangian of orbital motions of celestial objects, as shown in the present discovered equation set. In this Lagrangian of orbital motions of celestial objects, 3gm of c squared is the kinetic energy transfer from the capital celestial objects to the captive one, revealed by Mercury's perihelion precession anomalies. 2gm over c squared is the energy from the capital's gravitational field vibration phase function, and 1 gm over c squared is the deduced gravitational field energy fully dedicated to the orbital motion of the captive, and RC is the distance between the captor and the captive. In this Lagrangian of orbital motions of celestial objects, it turns out, surprisingly, the remaining energy of the captor attributed kinetic energy, which is dedicated to the orbital motion, 1 gm over c squared, of the captive, is the origin of Newton's orbital velocity law of the captive.